restaurants are losing money, customers, and workers because people don't feel safe. Just this year alone, dozens of businesses have been robbed in Memphis, and nearly 2,000 have been burglarized. Mike Miller, the president of the Memphis Restaurant Association, says criminals have no fear of being caught.
There seems to be a major disconnect between the DA's office, Shelby County, MPD. I have Shelby County Sheriff's deputies that have told me that there is not cooperation with MPD about them coming into the city limits. The DA's office, to all reports, has a very adversarial relationship with law enforcement. The incident at Huey's where the officer identified himself was shot at, and the charge that was leveled was an aggravated assault charge. Probably should have been an attempted murder charge, and thereby a different outcome in terms of that fellow getting out of jail the next day, getting picked up again 2 days later, and then out again the third day. After multiple charges, including shooting at a police officer. I can't imagine being a police officer and knowing that I'm out there risking my life every day and nothing is going to happen to these people.
The Memphis Restaurant Association plans to meet with the district attorney's office tomorrow. The industry, one of the largest employers in the county, with 41,000 workers generating billions in revenue and millions in taxes each year. And the suspect in the Huey's shooting, 19-year-old Chase Harris, well, he's back behind bars after being indicted on 2 unrelated theft charges. Harris is currently being held on a $210,000 bond. The DA's office says if Harris makes bail, there will be a source hearing to make sure he got that money legally. Harris is expected back in court today on additional charges of theft, vandalism, burglary of a vehicle, and evading arrest. As we first told you on Daybreak this morning, some Tennessee Republicans are urging Governor Bill Lee to abandon his plans for a special session on public safety in August. Now, State Representatives Brian Ritchie, Todd Warner, and Janice Bowling have all signed an open letter blasting his push for a, quote, red flag law as unconstitutional. The group also expressed concerns about security at the Capitol, claiming left-wing activists were planning disruptive protests. Now, Governor Lee called for a special session after 6 people, including 2 of his wife's friends, were shot and killed in an attack at a private school in Nashville. The governor plans to meet with lawmakers, key stakeholders, and others throughout the summer to talk about ways to improve public safety and preserve the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. In a new op-ed, Memphis Democrat and State Senator London Lamar says Tennessee Republicans are leading the nation in a race to the bottom. She says it's a moral failure that Republicans ended this year's legislative session just weeks after a school shooting with no action to stop future gun violence. And the man charged with the death of Eliza Fletcher was back before a judge this morning. Prosecutors are still gathering evidence as they build multiple cases against Cleopa Aston Henderson. In addition to Fletcher's murder, the 39-year-old is also accused of raping a Memphis woman. Judge Lee Coffey telling family members he would try to get the case resolved before the end of next year. And our Dorita Patterson was in the courtroom and will be digging deeper into that case for you tonight on the news at 5. A protest is underway in Indianola, Mississippi after the shooting of an 11-year-old. The family of Adarian Murray says a police officer fired the shot that hit him in the chest. This all happened Saturday as officers raced to a domestic disturbance. Adarian's family says he was unarmed and was shot as he ran toward officers for help.
This man not only deserves to be terminated, but he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, Adarian's family is demanding that Indianola's police chief be fired. They plan to occupy City Hall until that happens. It is turning out to be another nice day here in the Mid-South, but I will warn you, it's warming up a little bit in advance of our next cold front. Temperatures will be climbing into the mid-80s, and then once that cold front moves through, we're going to cool it off a little bit as we make our way towards the weekend. Very quiet on Storm Tracker 3S, but as you can see, the cold front is actually still to the north of us. But throughout the day, we're going to see more and more of these north and northeasterly winds, and we're going to be seeing less in the way of rainfall. This is a mostly dry frontal boundary that will be moving across the area. But the cooler, drier air is something we can look forward to. Already up to 83 here in Memphis, 79 currently in Corinth, and 81 right now in Oxford. And throughout the afternoon, as mentioned, we're on our way into the low and mid 80s, and then we'll start to cool it back down behind that frontal boundary later this evening and overnight. The next several days offering up lots of sunshine, northeasterly winds. It's going to be with us all weekend long. It's going to be feeling a little bit cooler with those afternoon highs closer to 80 with those northeasterly winds. So it's going to be perfect for whatever it is that you have planned outside over the next couple of days. The weather's definitely going to be cooperating. It'll start to warm it up, however, a little bit as we make our way into next week. And we're going to talk more about the big warm-up on the 7 and 10-day forecast coming your way in just a moment. Take a look at this. Who could forget these images out of the Mississippi Delta? It's been 2 months now since tornadoes devastated communities like the town of Rolling Fork. And this afternoon, Tia McKenzie shows us where things stand with the rebuilding effort.
The city of Rolling Fork is remaining resilient 2 months after tornadoes destroyed the area. Damaged buildings, boarded homes, and piles of debris line streets throughout Rolling Fork, but that doesn't quite tell the full story. Jared Keever is the CEO of the Sharkey-Issaquena Hospital and Nursing Home. He's been working around the clock to assist those in need.
There's been a lot of progress from the nursing home, and that's been our focus because we have displaced patients there. And we're really trying hard to get them back home as soon as possible.
And there's no place like home, says Keever. Multiple agencies are still on the ground helping to bring resources to people. Keever met with the Federal Emergency Management Agency to discuss how to move forward when it comes to rebuilding.
We're still encouraging individuals to go ahead and get their application in so that we can help individuals with their recovery, with their road to recovery.
Sharkey-Issaquena Hospital is remaining in operation at the Civic Center until a permanent structure can be rebuilt. Nursing home residents have been relocated to surrounding counties.
A lot of things are happening behind the scenes, but hopefully we'll see some visually.
Day, a long day, Edward.
Probably 10 to 12 weeks maybe on the nursing home.
Do you know?
When we get back in there.
FEMA is encouraging individuals, families, and businesses whose property have been damaged or destroyed to apply for assistance before the May 25th deadline.
And as you just heard, today is the last day to apply for FEMA assistance following those late March tornadoes. You can apply online with the FEMA app or the website disasterassistance.gov. And you can also call for help by calling 1-800-621-FEMA. Well, after meeting with Governor Greg Abbott in Texas earlier this week, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee is sending more troops to the southern border. Just hours ago, he authorized the deployment of 100 National Guardsmen to help with security. The governor's office says the troops will head to Texas within the next few days. And Arkansas's Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves were also seen in a photo with Governor Abbott Monday. Abbott is asking them and others to support Operation Lone Star in a mission to secure the border following the end of COVID-era restrictions. Still ahead, another troubling trend emerging in the latest TCAP results. What we discovered as we combed through the data. And just ahead of Memorial Day, the University of Tennessee sharing an emotional message with the families of missing soldiers. And as we go to break, some live pictures coming to us out of Raleigh. Now, that's where police have been investigating that deadly train collision. This is all happening along Raleigh-LaGrange, not too far from Covington Pike. We're told that a train collided with a car just a short time ago. We're continuing to gather information, and we'll keep you updated.